In the heart of a lush green forest, filled with proud creatures, where giant animals walked and beauty ruled, lived a being so small most never noticed her, a tiny ant. She was clever, tireless, and wise beyond her size. She gathered food before anyone else, planned ahead, and always carried more than her weight. Her colony admired her, trusting her to lead and protect. As time went on, something began to shift quietly inside her heart. One morning, she watched a peacock spread his dazzling feathers. The colors shimmered in the sunlight like jewels, and every creature stopped to admire him. The little ant sighed. "Why does nobody look at me that way? Am I invisible just because I'm small?" Another day, she saw a butterfly drifting gracefully through the air, wings painted in orange and gold. The ant whispered to herself, "If only I could fly. Instead, I'm stuck crawling on the ground." And then there was the sparrow, light, quick, and full of song. The bird darted across the forest sky, singing cheerfully as she leaped from branch to branch. The ant felt her heart tighten. "Look at her," she thought. "She's free, happy, admired, while I'm trapped below." Slowly, jealousy began to eat away at her spirit. The ant who once worked with pride now dragged her feet. She avoided tasks she used to lead. Her friends asked gently, "Why do you look so sad these days?" But she only forced a smile and stayed silent. Then, one afternoon, the skies darkened. Heavy clouds rolled in, and the forest trembled as a powerful storm broke loose. Rain poured like buckets from the heavens. Trees cracked and fell. Rivers swelled until they swallowed the banks. Birds cried out in fear, and animals scattered to survive. The butterfly's delicate wings became drenched, pulling her down into the mud. The sparrow fought to keep flying, but her soaked feathers dragged her down. She fell into a puddle, shivering and weak. Even the proud peacock, whose feathers had always been his glory, stood trembling and soaked, unable to lift them again. The once beautiful forest had turned into chaos, and yet, deep below the ground, the ant colony remained safe. Their carefully built tunnels held firm. Not a drop of water touched their food or their young. The tiny ant looked around and saw the suffering above. In that moment, her envy cracked apart. Tears welled in her eyes as she thought, "All this time, I wished to be like them. But today, they are the ones who need help. Maybe I can do something." Her heart filled with courage. She called out to her colony, "Friends, we can't stay hidden. The others need us. Together, we are strong enough to help." At once, the ants marched out in long lines. Some carried the butterfly on their backs, bringing her to a dry place. Others rushed to the sparrow, building a soft nest of leaves and grass to keep her warm until her feathers dried. Dozens of ants worked together to brush the mud and water from the peacock's heavy feathers until he could lift his head again. The animals stood in awe. How could a creature so small carry a heart so mighty, doing what strength and beauty never could? When the storm finally ended and sunlight poured into the forest again, the butterfly, the sparrow, and the peacock came to thank the little ant. The peacock lowered his head and said softly, "I thought beauty made me special. But today, I saw beauty greater than feathers. It's in the way you helped." The sparrow chirped gently. "I believed freedom was strength. But today you showed me that real freedom comes when we care for others." The butterfly smiled, her wings glistening once more. "You cannot fly, and you may not shine like us, but you lifted us when we were down. That makes you the greatest of all." For the first time in her life, the tiny ant felt no jealousy, only peace and pride. She finally understood. She was exactly who she was meant to be. From that day forward, she never compared herself to anyone else again. She learned that every creature carries a gift, and when we use it to serve others, we uncover the greatness that was hidden inside us all along. This story teaches us, jealousy hides our true worth and steals our inner peace. We waste our energy longing for another's life instead of embracing the strengths that make us unique. But real greatness isn't measured by size, talent, or beauty. It's measured by kindness, by service, and by the courage to help others with what we already have. Being small isn't weakness, it's strength wrapped in humility. True power comes from a heart that chooses love over envy and compassion over comparison. And real worth isn't what people admire on the outside. It lives within a kind heart, shining quietly, even when the world fails to notice. Subscribe now for stories that strengthen your spirit and guide you toward greatness.